Tonight, the Avalanche begin a 2-game road trip in the upper Northwest and two of the most beautiful cities in North America. Friday night in Washington and our first look at the Seattle Kraken. And tonight, from the place they call God's Country, Vancouver, British Columbia. Glad to have you with us for some Wednesday night hockey from Rogers Arena in Vancouver. It's the Avalanche and Canucks tonight on Altitude. Inside the Altitude Studios, hi everybody, I'm Kyle Keefe, Mark Rycroft. Hockey going to take a back seat real quick because what's going on in Vancouver is horrific. Riker, they've had some terrible floods. I know that you're from Penticton, which is 4 hours east of Vancouver. You have family, you have friends. What's going on? What's the situation?
Yeah, I'm 4 hours east, not touched, but in the city of Vancouver, you can't actually drive out of Vancouver, take a train. All the bridges are out. They received 8 inches of rain in 20 hours. We've got some pictures to show you. That's Abbotsford right there, folks. They had to cancel 2 games this weekend for Abbotsford, the farm team for the Canucks. The hotel where the team comes in and stays at, 10 feet underwater. So Highway 1, the Trans-Canada, goes into Vancouver, is 20 feet. That's some of it right there. Underwater, the Coquihalla Highway, which is like I-70 heading up to Vail, they've lost almost every single bridge as so much water came down and just widened until the bridges couldn't stand on anything. So not a big loss of life, so to speak, but huge infrastructure. Could take up to 2 years to fix that highway. So it's been some just, not a 100-year storm, never before seen storm, didn't know it could happen storm. So here we are, though, the city of Vancouver in that little nutshell right there. No problem. Get to the outskirts, chaos.
Yeah, well.
So here we are. That's why the hockey game's going on tonight, because it's kind of normal in Vancouver.
All right, Riker, appreciate it very much. Right now, let's get you upstairs. Bring in Mark Mosier and Peter McNabb. Guys, go ahead.
Well, Kiefer, everything that Riker said, we certainly echo those sentiments. And Pete, this is your area as well. You grew up in this area when you were a youngster into some teenage years, so you know the area very well.
Yeah, I'm actually much closer to the action than Mark. He was in Penticton. I was probably 15 minutes from Vancouver, Abbotsford another half hour east. And, the situation is just devastating right now. And the one that I read was there was one pump that failed to work. It was pumping 500,000 gallons of water per minute, and they couldn't control it. And it's just, to try to put a time on it for people and things like that, I don't know what's going to happen, but we just wish all the best to, my friends certainly and all the people of that area.
Yeah, I hope that it certainly clears up soon. Our thoughts are with everybody in that area affected by the terrible flooding. There is hockey tonight, and this Colorado Avalanche team is looking for its 3rd straight win, and they've got a guy in the back end right now, Pete, who's absolutely flying in Sammy G, tying a career best just 3 nights ago.
And, we were talking about it when it happened. When Nathan MacKinnon went down and Copper goes down, what was the real strength of the Avalanche? Now, Bo Byron, we wish was in the lineup, but the strength is their defensive core, jumping up in the play, getting things involved. You've got Makar, you've got Taves, and now when you throw Sammy G in there, with the way that Johnson's playing, all of a sudden you have a group of defensemen that are very good offensively, terrific defensively, and they can do so much to just keep pushing everything forward for the Avalanche.
It does take pressure off some of the forwards, but the second line right now for this Avalanche squad, they're handling everything. Nazem Kadri's going crazy. Andrei Burakovsky coming off a goal last game, but how about Val Nichushkin back in the lineup? He seemingly ties everything together.
Well, he's been in the lineup for 3 games, and they're 3-0. That's all you really have to say. And, he started his career, you weren't sure if he's a 3rd or a 4th line player. Well, the way that he has matured, the way that he has grown, and he is now a solid top 6 guy. And on that left side, when you deal with first line, you got to deal with Landeskog and how he plays, the size and the toughness that he brings. And then Nichushkin, who almost gives you that deadpan look as he just bowls you over. You've got 2 of the biggest, strongest left wingers in the National Hockey League. And I know that's one of the reasons why Coach Benner didn't want to break up that second line. He could adjust the first line because he's got top flight players in Rantanen and Landeskog. But on that second line, you want to keep it together for the stability that it gives the team.
It is really important for this Avalanche squad, especially with the injuries they're dealing with. And it's the Avs on the road in Vancouver for the first time in almost 2 years. Stick with us because the anthems will be coming your way and the puck drop. Avalanche in Vancouver. Peter McNabb right there. Mark Mosier right here. And the Avs again looking for their third straight win for the first time this season.
And it's not just third straight win. They've had two dominating performances after two disappointing games against Columbus.
Mikko Rantanen out to take the opening faceoff now, centering the top line in place of Nathan McKinnon. Logan O'Connor on the wing, and we're underway in Vancouver. The Canucks have control as Ekman Larsson jams it ahead. Into the Avs zone, that's going to be an icing call right away. All right, let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders presented by Holman Automotive.
Well, you cannot ask more of Darcy Kemper than he's given the Avalanche the last 4 or 5 games. He's been terrific. Thatcher Demko, you look at those numbers, Moj, you think, well, what? He has been really good. That's how poorly the Vancouver Canucks are playing right now. They're getting good goaltending.
Landeskog took a poke at that puck, picked up by Rantanen. All the way to the point. He'll shovel it back down deep as it's popped off a stick to the near side. McCarr pitching it. Here's O'Connor. Trying to work his way through traffic on the near side. Could not do it. And it's lifted up and out by Pullman. Back to the Avs zone it goes. Sent back ahead. Lead pass finds Mikko. He'll try the right wing this time. That's his comfort spot, and it's gloved by Demko. Just 35 seconds into the contest.
Well, for Coach Bednar, there is no question. There was, Moj, a little bit of a day in practice last week. They gave up some, a couple of points against Columbus. They came back, day off, optional, and then he was going to work them. He was going to absolutely put them through. And 75 minutes, then 65 minutes, and they dominated. I mean, the next 2 games.
You saw what it will take to ensure the win, presented by AAA Insurance. Don't take the Canucks for granted and work that power play big time here on the road at Vancouver, because the Canucks penalty kill has been really poor this season. That's sent all the way back down to the Avs zone. Icing going to be waved off as Kemper will play the puck off the glass. Eric Johnson in his first shift of the night slides it around to the near side. Burakovsky couldn't hang on. Sent back ahead by the Canucks. Racing forward is Miller, their leading scorer. JT Miller, 18 points in 16 games this year. He's been the one huge bright spot for Travis Green's squad. He's got the puck, tried to shovel it down deep. It rolls free and poked away by Kemper. Rattled up the boards by Burakovsky. It took a funny bounce and he got it back through center ice. He cuts through traffic. Here is Burakovsky giving it off down the slot. Shot deflected wide off the leg as Kadri let it go. Then Chuskin finds Burakovsky to the near side. Up top, it's Murray. Long wrist shot. That's wide of the net. Was hoping for a lead direct. Big bow. Bangs it back up to the point. Here's Johnson straight away. That shot went off a body. Miller was standing in the high slot, and it's sent to the near side. Good energy early for this Avalanche squad, especially in the offensive zone.
Coming off of 2 really dominant wins. And, against Vancouver a couple of games ago, they came out that first period and they just absolutely took it to them, had a 3-0 lead.
Murray filters it ahead. On the move is Tyson Jost. Trying to stick handle around a man in the corner, but Quinn Hughes would not give up his position. All the way to the half boards. Here's McCarr. Cale gives it off. Slot shot. Saved Demko. He got it right in the chest. What we talked about, it's been almost 2 years. But let's take a look at it. Maybe this will solidify how long it's been since the Avs were in Vancouver 621 days ago.
And Moj, obviously you and I were there, traveling with the club, and we had just started to hear about this virus, the coronavirus. And it started to hit Vancouver, Seattle area. We flew down to San Jose. It really hit there. LA came home for 1 game, and that was it. They called the season off, and under no circumstance did we think that was going to happen when we were in Vancouver 621 days ago.
Yeah, I just could not have predicted what it's been like for everybody for almost 2 years. Avs able to send that puck up and out as it's gloved down by Myers, and he'll work at his own blue line. Swatted in. Kemper plays it behind the cage in the trapezoid and reverses it back up the boards, and it hops through. Racing forward is Rantanen. Couldn't quite get there. I'm sorry, that's Obe Bell, number 16, not 96, just off the bench. His first shift in a Colorado Avalanche sweater. The Avs picked him up off waivers earlier this week. Sherwood ridden off in the corner. Sent to the far side. Megna tried to make a play but overskated that puck, and Myers patiently dishes off. Connor Garland, the former Coyote, sends it back to the Avs zone, and another icing call on Vancouver.
Moj, I can make you a case that the most disappointing club in the league is the Vancouver Canucks. Demko has been a quality goaltender for this team. And you have got players up front that can do. Travis Green, the coach, Moj, you want to talk about pressure on a coach. They were looking to see how they were going to do in the last 3-game road trip. The owners came along. They lose 3, being outscored 17-6 in those 3 games.
Yeah, it was a big deal, and everybody made a big deal about it in Vancouver. Well, the owner's talking with Benning. What's going to happen? Well, it wasn't about a job. It's about how do we fix this club. Long-distance shot hit the post. It went right to the left of Demko, through him and off the iron by Cale Makar. Taves bumps it back down deep. Logan O'Connor takes command. Now finds Mikko. Rantanen. Wrist shot. Blocked in traffic. Back to Mikko it goes. Another wrist shot. That knocked the stick out high at the blue line. Steered back off for Taves, and he'll retreat to his own zone as both teams will get a change. Almost 4 minutes into the contest, we have no score in Vancouver. Sent back up ice. Here is Nichushkin. He'll bump it down deep. Played by Demko, given off on the near side. Pearson had it roll through him. Ryan Murray couldn't get it through his own teammate as Horvat brings it ahead, and a good play by Murray to right off goal Horvat. He was a little bit off balance, was Bo. Avs on the counterattack. Right in, Kadri shoots, and a save by Demko made a strong push to his right. Kadri riding a 6-game point streak, which is still 3 shy of his career high, but he's been a huge factor, now the leading scorer on this Avalanche squad.
And you see what Nichushkin did there? Drives to the net, and all of a sudden, he's free, wide open for the quick shot.
Avs firing from all angles at this point as the Canucks drop it in. Höglander, also a bright spot for Vancouver this season. Threw it behind the cage. Stripped away from Horvat. Ryan Murray. Long lead pass. That one hit Helm right in the back of the leg, and the Avs were offside anyway. Besser, he wants to try the left wing this time, but the Avs able to send that one right out toward the red line. That pass missed the target, intercepted by Magna. He's got some speed and a wrist shot, and another save by Thatcher Demko.
Well, you know, you can't talk about turning points in the season this early in the year, but the Avalanche, they had 2-1 leads against Columbus in both games. They come away with a very lucky 1 point. They optional, or day off optional, 2 hard practices, and then they just bounced the Vancouver Canucks. They bounced them. It was 3-0 in the first period, it was 3-0 in the second period, and they cruised to a 7-1 win. But it was the way that everybody approached that game. They were angry at how they had let points go against Columbus.
Outside the Tampa game, it maybe is their most complete game we saw this season so far. Gerard stands a man up on the corner as it comes to the near side. Logan O'Connor, what an opportunity that young man has playing with 92 and 96. Sent back in, thought Vancouver might have touched it, but Eric Johnson has to go retrieve. He got cut off there by Chason. Comes to Mikko, steered up in front of the benches. Now Ekman Larson bumps it back to the red line. Avs take it away. Landeskog. Rantanen on the near side. Very familiar territory for Mikko. That's his comfort zone. Of course, he is in the middle tonight, and Pete, you talked about it. The communication is going to have to be good amongst the line mates, but amongst the D when that line is out there.
Yeah, because when he comes back into the defensive zone, he's got to go to the right spot.
Here's Jones, sends it in front, and a penalty coming up on Vancouver as Alex Newhook had cut to the front of the net. Podkolzin is going to sit.
And right here, Moj, let's listen to Mr. Referee.
Vancouver 92 as a minor penalty hooking.
We get to the #1 reason why the Vancouver Canucks have been so disappointing this year. 19 power play goals against. 18 at 5-on-4, 1 more at 6-on-4. Moj, they've only played 16 games. You go through a season where you give up, that's going to, factor out to be 100 power play goals against. You're not making the playoffs. You're going to sit at the bottom of the league.
They are the worst penalty-killing team in the National Hockey League and have given up a power play goal to the opposition in 9 straight games as Miller Nab for the unfair face-off. We'll do it all over again. Landeskog leaning in.
Miller and Kadri having a little conversation.
And why not? Actually, it was Nazem Kadri, perhaps, who got thrown out by the linesman.
Oh, yeah.
Now it just seems to be a discussion.
He was taught. They were talking. I think they're going to push back to exactly 2 minutes. Come on. Come on.
You're not going to get what you want. Habs have it on the far side. Now he went back to 2. Given off. Steered off for McCarr. Kale. Dishes to Mikko. Back to Kale it goes. Plays bump with Kadri. Kale. Slap shot. Saved by Demko. Ricochets right to Burakovsky. Down the boards. He gets it back at the point. Here is Burakovsky. Working it in. The shot. That missed the net. All the way around the boards, it comes out into the neutral zone and back to the Avalanche end. So here we are, 30 seconds into the first power play of the game.
It was interesting the last couple of days in practice. McCarr using the slap shot from the point more than the wrist shot.
Here comes Landeskog in. Frees it up for Mikko. Dished up top. McCarr will choose. Burakovsky will dance at the top of the circles. In front, and a save by Demko as a turnaround shot by Kadri was point blank. Here is Rantanen. Scoots his way to the corner. Cross-ice pass in front, and it missed Landeskog. Oh, man. Avs moving the puck at will, though. Back to Mikko it goes. Looking in. Steers it down, and Landeskog tried to set it in front and knocked away. There's a stick off of Miller there, so the Avs keep the advantage. Virtually 5-on-3.5 off the post by Cale McCarr on the long wrist shot. And Mikko again looking in. Shoots and scores! Mikko Rantanen, the Moose, got loose and rips it past the blocker of Thatcher Demko. The Avs have the 1-0 lead. For Rantanen, it's his 6th goal of the season, and that power play could not have been better.
It could not have been better, but when things are going bad, Moj, this is what happens. Now, Miller's standing there. The puck goes around. It comes right to Miller, who was going to shoot the puck out of the zone. He can't do anything. And Mikko Rantanen, they spin, turn around. McCarr hits the post. Rantanen walks in. And all of a sudden, they have another power play goal. And the whole team deflates. All because Miller's stick broke. And they couldn't get the puck out of the zone when they clearly had the opportunity.
It's amazing to think what Mikko Rantanen looks at when he walks in like that, because all I can see are bodies. And bodies shoveling and moving out of the way. And it gets underneath the blocker of Demko. Just amazing that goal scorers like that are just able to do what they do, as we have an offside play on the Canucks. And we'll take a timeout. 12:38 left in period number 1. Mikko Rantanen on the power play has already put the Avs on top 1-0. Inside Edge presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks.
The one that I'm most interested in is, and I can remember these games because I've had lots of friends in Vancouver. You're always kind of visiting. Total has been over in the last 5 visits to Vancouver. People love when the Avalanche come to town. They absolutely love watching them play, the skill they play the game at, the way they raise the other team's skill level and force you to play a real up-tempo game. If you don't play fast motion, you're going to get smoked.
How about your buddy, the air traffic controller, who always loved the Avalanche coming into town? He says, hey there, big heavy Peter McNabb. Hey, Audi Flatirons is Denver's premier destination to make your vehicle dreams come true. Come and see what it means to drive the rings at Audi Flatirons, as we have some pushing and shoving. Tyson Jost in the mix. Myers getting talked to by one of the linesmen. Aube-Kubel is right in there, and he's not a super big guy, Pete, but he has his fair share of fights in the National Hockey League.
Remember Burroughs with the Avalanche last year, the little altercation that he had?
Ooh, and Tyson Jost flattened.
Yeah, he deserved it for them to be mad.
Flattened Miller right in the neutral zone. There is Kyle Burroughs, the former Colorado Avalanche. Played a handful of games. Actually, I'm sorry, it was Connor Garland who got knocked down by Tyson Jost. And there he is, Nicholas Aube-Kubel.
And one of the things that Coach said about Aube-Kubel is Moshe's sturdy. Well, he's not just sturdy. I watched him the last 2 days of practice. He is a really good skater. And I figured, you know, come to the Avalanche, that's one of the things that's going to be looked at. And you're 215 pounds, and you can skate. I mean, he can just flat fly.
Yeah, you and I specifically watched him roll out of his own zone on those 3-on-2 drills, and he's got ability. There's no doubt about it. Up the boards it goes. Girard trying to keep it in and does through Dickinson. Helma turnaround shot and a save there by Demko. Now Myers throws it off the referee. Burrows will take over. Again, a handful of games for Kyle Burrows with the Avalanche last season. Also played for the Eagles, of course.
Coach, I can tell you one thing about having played in Vancouver. This building is waiting to turn on the Canucks. If this next goal goes to the Avalanche, it's going to get real ugly in that building.
It's been sort of ugly, Pete, this season. Just a lot of expectations. 2 years ago, they were the darlings of the National Hockey League, and now, they were on the come. They were rebuilding, and they just sort of hit a stagnant spot for the past 2 seasons.
You look at some of the skill they've got, and it seems to be right there with a lot of the really good teams.
Here comes Jack Johnson. That's deflected in. Demko thought about playing it, finally does. Steers it far side. Outlet pass, ricocheted right off the skate of Quinn Hughes. And here's Cale Makar. Lead pass right up the middle, and the Avs are offside as Kadri got in just a moment too soon down the right wing.
Well, Darren Helm has been a real pleasant addition for the Avalanche. That's the way he plays. The one thing that, we remember from his days in Detroit, he's a fast. He can just motor. So when you get he and O'Connor out there, that's why they've had back-to-back games with shorthanded goals. It's the speed that they generate once they get the puck and explode into the other zone.
I remember when he first appeared with the Red Wings, and this guy was so fast, and I thought, who is that guy? He's fast as heck. Still got some tread left on the tires as Kadri finds the glass. Out it comes. Pullman trying to sweep it ahead. Of course, Tucker Pullman got a major and a game misconduct the last time these two teams met last week at Ball Arena. Sent to the point. Now it's Makar. He'll shimmy. Down the boards he goes. Got around Miller behind the cage. Tried to give it far side. Canucks trying to prevent as much as they can. Taves kicks it to his blade. It was not in prime firing position. It's now Kadri. Sends it up top for Devon Taves. Chased all the way up top by Miller. And the shot is finally gloved by Thatcher Demko almost halfway through period number 1. The Avs with a 1-0 lead.
Well, for Taves, it must be interesting. You're watching the games, but then all of a sudden you're out there with Makar. And he and Makar make this fabulous, combination. But Makar did something right there that most players just don't even think of. He's going to make a little move down the wall. He bounced it off the wall to himself. And if you're Taves, you got to be ready for that kind of imagination when you're on the ice.
Makar goes forward, even though his skates are turned, as Rycroft would say, like Charlie Chaplin. And he's able to shimmy through those tight spots. Get the pass to himself off the boards. To the point, Girard couldn't get that one through. Watch out. The Canucks trying to scoot it up ice, and that's kind of the way their season is going. Chason was breaking into the zone, and that puck was flubbed in the neutral zone. Girard finds the target. Here come the Avs as Newhook tried to give it up for Obe Kubel. On the near side, Jost. Now it's Obe Kubel. This shot, another kick save by Demko. Avs now with 9 shots on goal here in period number 1, and we're just over halfway through. Brendan from Makar and Kadri as Nazem Kadri's point streak reaches 7 games. 2 shy of his career high, but he's been red hot for the Avs now with 15 points. Jost trying to stuff it in deep. That puck is battled for. Wrapped around to the far side. Magna scoots it to the point. Wide open is Murray. Looks in and shoots. Deflected wide of the net. Taken by Johnson. Tried to scoot his way down the boards and got pinned at the half boards by Punt Colson, who's already been to the box once. Out of the pile. Now back to the hash as it goes. A lot of working it down deep for this Avalanche squad. Goes to the far side. And up the boards and out it comes. Dickinson. Quick shot. Kick save by Darcy Kemper. That's only the second shot he's seen here in the first period. And I'm trying to get their cycle going. Battle for. Down goes one of the Canucks outside the trapezoid. Sent up for Hughes. That shot saved by Kemper as it got through traffic. And this is the best shift for Vancouver so far in this game. Long wrist shot there. Deflected by Kemper over the top of the net with his blocker. Sent in front. Avs finally pick it up, and they're going to want to change very quickly. Scooted up by Magna. There is no icing here, and the Avs will get 5 fresh bodies out on the ice. Back it comes for Hughes, so reverse it for Pullman. Canucks trying to exit their own zone. Avs causing havoc. Ratton in deep on the forecheck. Pullman scoots it up far side, and out it comes. Landeskog used his legs, was the first one to it. Brings it back ahead. Here comes the captain. Driving down the right wing. Breaks her on. Scoops that puck to the backhand and had it poked away as Myers has that long reach. Into the circle. Here's McCart. A shimmy move and a shot. And a save by Demko in traffic. Came all the way out to the top of his crease and beyond it. The timeout coming up. There's a beautiful looking Rogers Arena. Avs on top 1-0. There's that check mark on yes again. Peter McNabb, you love that.
You know, to me, it's very interesting when you look at the opposition. The Vancouver Canucks, right now, they're in flux. You know, everybody thinks they're one bad loss away from firing their coach. And when that sets in the locker room and whatever, I mean, it is just lousy. And for the Avalanche, you want to push it right away in those situations. You want to get them heads down, shoulders down, looking around and just not sure what's going to happen next if you're the opposition.
You raised the point earlier when the Avs scored a power play goal that, oh boy, here we go again.
Yeah.
That's 10 straight games Vancouver's given up a power play goal.
20 in 17 games.
It's amazing. Here's Mikko taking the draw against Horvat. Kicks at it. That puck is loose. Squirts right behind the cage for Myers, and he'll find the glass. Now a foot race. Pearson still has wheels. Kemper couldn't glove that puck as he made a leaping effort at the left side of his crease. All the way to the point, and a long shot saved by Kemper. He will hold on and draw the faceoff. All right, it's time for tonight's Taco Bell Day.
Boom. The Avalanche goals from defense. Moshe. Nathan McKinnon was out, or is out now. A couple of games. Never mind the first 2 we missed at the start of the season. Somebody had to step up for the Avalanche who are going to be successful. And you look at who the likely people are. Of course, it's going to be Landeskog and Rantanen and the depth they have. But the extra is that defensive core that can score. They can absolutely put the puck in the net.
Well, they certainly can. Wheels far side of Girard, tried to bump it to Caddy. That puck is not out of the zone. That'll force Eric Johnson to work it along the end boards. Got tied up by Pettersson. Back to the right point. Right up top, Hughes looking and shooting, and it never got through. Glove down and a backhander save, rebound. What a save by Darcy Kemper. Kept his ground held and got the blocker out. Quick shot by Hamonic, saved by Kemper. He'll hold on to the left side of his crease and draw that whistle. Wow.
Well, game 13 for the Avalanche, 11 starts for Kemper. And so we're starting to get a little feel for how he plays in certain situations. I am absolutely amazed how good he is in tight. Finding the puck, reacting, getting the pad out, getting the paddle out, moving the puck out of the zone. He is really good at those plays down in close to the goaltender.
He just held his ground on that one, kept an eye on the puck and followed it the entire way as Vancouver pushes here late in period number 1. Into the slot, redirected just wide, and a nice looking play by the Canucks. Scrambling toward him at near side is Lamico. Has it, he'll wheel it all the way to the far side. Joe's chased after it, not in the nick of time. Comes to the near side in the corner. McCarr wants to scoot it up, not out again. Turnaround shot, cut down in the slot. Turnaround shot, and that's off Kemper and over the top of the net. So Vancouver has really made an effort to push the issue as Mott lays a hit on McCarr. It's Devon Taves. Brings it up ice, and a penalty coming up on the Colorado Avalanche. This should be an interference penalty at the blue line on Aube-Kubel as there was a collision. And when we come back, the Avs will be on the kill for the first time tonight to get the 1-0 lead. And Nicholas Aube-Kubel's in the box, Pete. He can't do this.
What can't he do?
This right here.
Right, yeah. Absolutely. Once the defenseman is in that situation, they were jockeying for a while, but then once Hughes pushed ahead of him, and he knocked him down. You're going to make that call, but this is going to be a long 2 minutes. The last thing you want to do is your first, thing that you do for your club is sit in the penalty box when the other team ties the score.
Gordon Hughes takes over. Vancouver's power play this season is 25th in the league, one spot ahead of the Avs. As you see the numbers right there, 15.3%. Good clear by Meg, now forcing Vancouver to go all the way down. Avs penalty kill has been very good as of late. Here comes Hughes. Lead pass to Horvat. Now Miller tries to scoot it in deep. Big foul is in the corner, rumbling his way through traffic as Jack Johnson is there, but it emerges for Hughes. Long shot, hit a body in front, and then it's clubbed by Darcy Kemper as he got it off the side of a jersey.
And it's always interesting to be, doesn't happen very often, to be around a coach long enough where you see what he likes, what he's comfortable with. And coaches need to be comfortable and trust what you're going to do. He loves that big, strong defensive pair of Johnson and Johnson out there to kill off the first minute. And they're little bit of stick here. They're not overly aggressive, but they'll pound you.
Oh, they will. And if you've got guys who are a little bit timid about working their way down deep and in front of the net, they can make you pay the price.
That's what you're supposed to do.
The Avs clear the puck all the way down. Again, last time these two teams met in Denver last week, Darren Helm with a shorthanded goal. He and Logan O'Connor combined on that one, and they're out there right now. Giving up for Miller. Drop back to the point. Hughes skips it. Rink wide. Out of the zone comes Pettersson, and he carried it back in, but offside. Elias Pettersson. When he was a rookie, as we look at Travis Green there, Green threw him out all the time. And what has gotten into him this year? Or has it?
There's a contract dispute.
Now.
There was a wrist injury last year. But when we saw him that first year, I thought the Sedins are now moving on. This kid is going to be a dyed-in-the-wool #1 center. And I still think he's going to. But right now, it is just not working. The last game he played against the Avalanche, he was not engaged in the game. He was throwing the puck into wrong areas, and he is so talented, it's unreal.
That puck is whipped in by Pud Colson. Let's get to it. Rammed up the boards by Höglander. Here's Ekman Larsson. Höglander into the circle at the dot. Had it swept away. Murray's got room. He'll bang it all the way down the ice. Just 30 seconds to go in the kill for the Avs. It's their first of the contest. Avs sitting on 11 shots. The Canucks have 9. So they've really come back in that regard. Pearson scoots it in. That puck is rimmed through the corner, boys. Big collision behind the net with EJ. Pete, you were just talking about that. And here comes Logan O'Connor. He's got speed to the Vancouver zone. Sends it in front, and it went right through Darren Helm. Oh, boy. They were that close to doing it again. Power play for Vancouver is almost over as the brakes are thrown on. Garland looking. Garland holding, shooting, and it's off the blocker and into the netting with 3:46 to go here. Period #1.
Well, the Vancouver Canucks have started to get something going offensively. Garland, of course, came over from Arizona. And Moja was kind of a money swap. They got some high draft picks. They got Ekman Larsson and Garland. Especially Ekman Larsson, big money. But he's the kind of guy that fills in a top 6 role. Very talented.
Connor Garland last year had a tough time against the Avalanche on a couple different occasions. One time, Gabe Landeskog just threw him into the crust of the earth. And the other time, Nathan McKinnon said, well, how do you do? Here's your helmet back, too. I love that. Long wrist shot. Easy save by Darcy Kemper. Hold on.
And here's what we're talking about. And again, you got Ekman Larsson is a defenseman. You can understand that. And because Chikrin's a defenseman, Shabbat, Nurse, Burns, they're all defensemen. But when you get to Elias Pettersson, 80 shots on goal, that should be 6, maybe 7 goals, and you start to factor that into the losses, the 1-goal losses, and all of these things. The pressure starts to build on a kid like this who just signed a mega deal in Vancouver. Every single person in town knows exactly how much money you're making. Trust me.
Oh, yeah. All eyes are upon you if you're Elias Pettersson. Nazem Kadri going to be kicked out of the circle again. We'll have to talk to our man Stan. I need to know how many times a season Kadri's kicked out of the circle. I got to know. Centering pass. Nobody home for Vancouver. One headed out by Val. Fired back up ice. That one goes off of Besser. Sam Girard scooted it off the inboards and sent out in front. That puck just died when it hit the inboards. Hamonic with a long wrist shot and a kick save there by Kemper. I don't know if Sam didn't get a whole lot on it or it just died when it hit the Save On Foods Air Canada part of that board. Another bomb from outside. That missed by a mile. Here's Nichushkin. Well, Jared Bednar's going to want his team to find another gear here sometime soon. Vancouver's owned the territorial advantage here for about the last 8-10 minutes.
It's not something the Avalanche can expect from a club that's lost 4 in a row, come off a road trip where they just got trounced 3 games in a row.
Avs offside as Aube-Kubel plays that puck. Hey, celebrate the growth of hockey and those who have pioneered the women's game with Girls Hockey Night on Monday when the Avalanche play host to the Ottawa Senators. The Colorado Amateur Hockey Association will provide 2 complimentary tickets to the game for girls who are interested in learning more about hockey while supplies last. So go to co.hockey for more information. I think a special national anthem coming up that night as well, and it should be a fantastic night. EJ swings that puck in through Burrows. Now Pullman reverses it on the flip. Chucked that by Mott. Down the boards went Aube-Kubel trying to get a hold of it, and it's Mott. Back to Pullman, and he's got all kinds of open space to send it ahead. Good interception by Taves. Right back into the Vancouver zone. Newhook chugging after it. He'll fight along the inboard. It's given up, though, and ripped ahead by Lamico. Taves couldn't scoop that one through the young player. Through Jost it goes, and this could be an icing call. It's waved off. Tyson Jost got checked just outside the Vancouver blue line. Under 2 minutes left here in period number 1. The Avs on top, 1-0 on Mikko Rantanen's 6th goal of the season from Makar and Kadri. It was a power play goal. Landeskog gets ahead of steam. Right up the gut. Here comes the captain across the red line. Down the wing, it's O'Connor. Could not give it back. Myers so big, so tall, with such a long reach. He's able to get in passing lanes that typically you wouldn't see. Right back in is Mikko. On the near side, O'Connor had that puck roll right through his stick as it's lifted up and out by the Canucks. A twirl and a fire ahead for Makar, but he missed the target. Dump right back in by Vancouver, and that is an icing call with 1:09 left, and the Avs catch a bit of a break. There is Connor Garland, and there's Mikko. He just has that stride. He just takes it right in with power, and the head is always up.
And again, if it's just power we're talking about, that's one thing. But it's the power and the finesse that he combines. Like very few other players in the National Hockey League. Look at this little aerial. You know, it just goes a little bit over top. But that was, I mean, to be able to make that little pass, you read, you adjust, you throw the puck over the stick. I mean, everything was in control.
That might have been one of those veteran moves by Pearson. I'd have to see that one again. He might have tapped the hands of O'Connor just a little bit. But Colson makes a steal. Avs get a stick on that out of the zone. Good play there by Val Nichushkin. He read that one well, just got the end of his blade on it to break it up all the way to the point. Hughes back ahead. Dickinson will dump it in. There's Girard. Finds his D partner in EJ. Outlet right on the stick of Nichushkin. Burakovsky had a goal last game. Couldn't hang on to that one as Hamonic swings it around. Besser after it. Megna plays center field. 15 seconds to go here, period number 1. And Devon Taves is content just to sit on that puck. Gives it up for Makar. Crowd doesn't like it at Rogers Arena. Avs will take it, though, and they'll head into the dressing room after 20 minutes on top.
The difference in that entire period was that Mikko Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen makes a shot that the Vancouver Canucks players couldn't make. Over the course of it was a very even period, not terribly exciting, but the Avalanche get a goal because Mikko Rantanen is a star.
At the end of 1 in BC, it's the Avalanche on top of the Canucks by a score of 1-0. And you're watching Colorado Avalanche hockey on altitude. Hey, coming up after the break, stay tuned. You've got Kyle, you've got Riker, you've got JML for the intermission report. First Bank. For over 56 years, First Bank has always rooted for the home team. First Bank, banking for good. Member FDIC. One of the most beautiful cities in the world, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Getting ready for period number 2, the Avalanche. On top of the Canucks by a score of 1-0. And what a first period it was for Darcy Kemper. 12 shots faced, 12 saves.
And what I really like about this period for Darcy Kemper, this is what we're starting to see on a consistent basis. Now, the Vancouver Canucks didn't have a whole great big number of quality chances, but nothing leaked through. We're not sitting here 1-1 going, well, that wasn't the point, kind of, snuck through him. He's been solid. He's been strong. The Avalanche are 4-1 in the last 5 games that he's been there. The only one that he didn't win was a game he played really well against Columbus and gave the Avalanche a chance to win that game. They lost it 4-2, but he was a big part of giving them a chance. So that's what you're looking for Darcy Kemper, and it took him maybe a little while to get used to it. But I think he's one of those goaltenders that now he's starting to settle in. Now he's starting to figure out who's in front of him. What happens when 6 is coming down? What happens when 3's coming down, 8's coming down? And they're handling things defensively. How do I read and adjust to how they're playing?
Certainly helps to have Devon Taves back in the lineup as well. But Darcy Kemper has been good, and I think my favorite save of that first period was that little blocker save after the one that came down the slot. Here we go with period number 2. Avs will pick it up there with Cale McCarr, works his way back to his own zone. And here are the Geico stats for bundling made easy. Go to geico.com. Demko plays that puck. Pearson got a stick on it, so out it comes back to the Avalanche zone, and the captain is the first one there on the back check. Hoglander was trying to take it away. Behind the net, he's got it. A little move away from Landeskog. Runs right into Mikko Rantanen and reverses that puck. Avs caught in their own zone a little bit. You heard the interview that I have with Rantanen after period number 1. Says we got to keep the legs moving. Started to go a little bit flat there as that first period wore on, and he's right about that as Pearson is able to saucer it ahead. Horvat, a little drag move to the front of the net, and it rolled off the end of his stick. Landeskog is there. Long shift for the captain. Finds the red line, and it goes, and he'll make the change. 1 minute into period number 2. Fired up ice for Besser. Turned toward the net, deflected off the arm of Darcy Kemper as Miller had worked his way to the front of the cage. Travis Hamonic will activate. Girard's on him. It's ran back up to the point and waiting is Besser. A slap shot, and that hit Girard right in the back. Might have gone off Eric Johnson first. Again, Vancouver showing a lot of energy here to begin period number 2. Besser stuffs that puck down deep. Taken away by Eric Johnson. Pettersson trying to force the Avs' big defenseman off the puck at the hashes. And he does. Miller scoots it far side. Here's Quinn Hughes now. Off of Besser, it comes all the way down, so the Avs can get a change. Going in the long way in period number 2. Vancouver's been very aggressive.
Right. Mosh, again, this is a club that's sitting outside the playoffs. I mean, considerable way outside the playoffs. That made some changes, brought in some high-priced, personnel during the offseason. I mean, they need to get things going.
Penalty coming up on the Avalanche, and Tyson Jost is going to be a trap. The official on the backside saw it the entire way. That is Trevor Hansen, and so the Avs will be shorthanded for the second time.
Colorado 17, he's got a minor penalty for tripping.
And that is a trip.
Bo Horvat. Moj, we saw him last game get the elbow up on Bo Byram. And Bo Byram obviously hasn't played since. But I don't think by any means he meant to do it. The problem is he is a beast. He is so big, so strong. He's built like Gabe Landeskog. He is just a horse out there.
I think he knew a guy was chugging at him down the boards. I just didn't think he said, I'm going to intentionally put my elbow into your face. One-timer by Pettersson, blocked away by Eric Johnson. Good challenge by Megna, but the Avs can't control. That one goes off the leg of Logan O'Connor. Canucks get it back to Hughes straight up top. Top unit is out for Travis Green. Top back up top, Hughes. Into the circle. Montaigne's got a stick on it. Miller swings it off looking for Besser. Avs. Shot back. Not out yet as Hughes back on the boards. Good steal by Megna. He'll bump it with a backhand all the way down. And Jason Megna continues to make plays that keeps him at the National Hockey League level.
The coach, again, we talk about confidence. He has confidence in what he's going to do and his fourth-line role.
Here come the Canucks right back in. Avs have changed up some killers. Nichushkin, you can see, has emerged onto the ice. On the back end, it's Murray and Jack Johnson. That puck just inside the trapezoid. Time to take it away. Horvat trying to kick at it with his left skate. Jack Johnson trying to keep it pinned with his right. He's got it out of the pile. He's got room to find Nichushkin, and Big Val's on the move. He'll bump it all the way down. This is the second penalty kill of the night for the Avalanche. Ove-Kubel went in for interference in period number 1. That pass off the end of the stick of Hughes. Comes to Pettersson. Avs force the turnover, and Erik Johnson does the honors.
And again, Moshe, Erik Johnson's play through the first now 13 games has been as solid as if he had been playing last year and that nothing had happened. Never mind missing basically 14 months of hockey.
Here come the Canucks, perhaps in the last rush as time winds down. Hoglander, high to by Girard. Puck is free. Through Megna goes. Sent to the far side to one-timer over the top of the net. And it deflects into the screen as Darcy Kemper was right there.
Here's what you're talking about, Moshe. Watch the head of Horvat. To me, he's coming back, and he's just one of those things. You run into a brick wall, you run into a brick wall. Now, for Bo Byram, interesting. He didn't play the rest of the game. He practiced. I watched him practice, and he was clearing the pucks at the end of practice. He was in a great mood. The next day after that, he wasn't available. Now, I heard of it, and I hate to do that because it's one of those things that, you know, I'm not there to see for sure, but that he was on the trip. Now, I have no idea why, if he's still in concussion protocol or if he's been taken off of that. But, you know, I just hope, for heaven's sakes, that it's not a situation for Bo Byram that's just going to be one of those long, lingering times. This man right here would love to have him in the lineup.
So I don't think there's any doubt. Myers back in with a shot, blocked away by Kemper. That puck went up the slot, right, and then bangs it to the point. Here's Cale Makar. He'll bring it ahead. Battle for back to the Avalanche zone. Set up the boards and out to the red line. Sherwood was running traffic. Landeskog now has it in skate. Pushed ahead by the Canucks. Horvat running it free and takes a hit from Makar up top. That shows you how strong Cale Makar is. He was able to lay that shoulder right in Horvat's chest.
The Vancouver Canucks are playing way better hockey than them.
Here they come on a 2-on-1. It's Hoglander. He's got Pearson down the slot, and it's broken up. Saved there by Kemper as Rantanen had gotten back into the mix. Wow. That puck up and over the glass and into the perhaps Avalanche bench. Either way, we've got a whistle.
Now, we're never exactly sure what when they say weight, but you can tell right there that just the strength and the balance that Makar has. He's not 200 pounds. I don't imagine. And Horvat is one of those guys that's 215, 220, and solid as you could be. But the balance and skating ability of a guy like Makar, I mean, they can bounce you, a guy that's 20, 25 pounds heavier.
It's just that balance, that timing, it all factors in.
I mean, you have to be naturally strong, but it's the balance part.
Dickinson, they knocked him up with it. Pulls into the front of it, and that puck rolled right through the blue paint. Ove-Kubel tried to find the defenseman Murray, now gathers it back in. Again, turned it over. Connor Garland picked up by Murray. Ove-Kubel loses the hit. Canucks don't have it to the near side, and it's off and sticking out of the zone. And again, right now the Avs catching a couple of breaks because they're a little bit loosey-goosey defensively. Ove-Kubel is in the corner. That stuff back to the near side. Kyle Burrows has his head up. Ice and will dish off. Exactly 6 minutes into period 2. Avs hanging out of the 1-0 lead. Mikko Rantanen's power play goal in the first period is the difference of this one. Through to Nichushkin. Pettersson forced to retreat to his own end. Back it comes Burrows. Sends it up ice. Played by Kemper. He'll find the corner glass, and it finds the netting. And it finds a timeout as well with 13:39 to go. Downstairs with Kyle Keefe.
Moj, some teams like the Montreal Canadiens have already played 18 games. The Avs have played 12. Still, we got some leaders in the clubhouse. Draisaitl, 33 points. He's on pace for 182. 29 points for McDavid, 26-year-old. This is crazy. Ovechkin, third spot with 12 goals on the year. Troy Terry on a 15-game point streak. Kyle Connor right there from the Winnipeg Jets. Crazy numbers already, Moj.
Yeah,
Take it
I'll
away.
say. Some guys have just burst out. What a season Troy Terry has had so far for the Ducks.
He's played 16 games. Didn't score the first game. Has scored in every game since. Has a point in every game since. A 15-game point streak.
Sent up ahead to Kadri. Into the far circle. Picks it up top. Long wrist shot. Knocked wide of the net. Brought ahead by the Canucks. Hamonic lost the handle. They're onside though. Into the corner. Girard with a big hit there. Sam Girard starting to look like his old self. Sent down the slot. What a kick save there by Darcy Kemper on the redirect between the circles. Miller, a terrific redirect, and Kemper pushing to his left feet. Got that left pad out. Here's Burakovsky. Again, the Canucks now starting to press the issue. Avs have got to wake up a little bit. Up top, one-timer. Saved by Demko.
Moj, here's what we were talking about with Darcy Kemper. That those plays down low with his feet. Watch the left pad as it's tipped. He's going to his right, and he's going to come back and readjust and kick that left pad out. This is just, I mean, it looks so simple because there's not a lot of movement, but it's just a great save.
Again, JT Miller, 18 points in 16 games. He's got an 8-game point streak.
Yeah.
Taves. Makar, wrist shot. That's wide. Landeskog, the first one to it on the near side, immediately smothered by Ekman Larson, his countryman. And now here's Myers out of the clock. Up the boards. Avs creating all kinds of pressure now with the top line. Landeskog back in, and a good poke check by Ekman Larson to recover. Landeskog has to whip it to the point. Makar finds Taves near side. Wrist shot deflected wide by Rantanen. Now it's Pearson. Steers it up and out through Horvat. So maybe that shift by the Avs can sort of stem the tide a little bit, get the momentum going back. Racing for it now is O'Connor as the Avs are completing their chase. Rantanen trips himself up. Myers out to the red line. It's deflected in. Whacked at. Lamico sends it right through the low slot. Avs will pump it ahead. Foot race now. Sherwood could not catch up. And I'm waiting for Kiefer Sherwood to unload that wrist shot that we saw so many times in practice and establish in play, and the Canucks are offside with 11:34 to go in period 2. Hey, game time means it's mountain time, the cool, crushable lager for all of your Colorado colors. So go grab a case, because if there's a puck on the ice, there should be a mountain time in your hand. I don't seem to have one right now, though.
Well, I'm sure you'll find one.
Well, give me a couple of hours, and I'm sure I'll be able to wrangle one.
Well, you know, talked about 18 games for Montreal, 12 for the Avalanche. Well, they start a little bit of a tougher stretch. 6 games, 11 days for the Avalanche.
Yeah, take a look at the month of March. Or better yet, don't. Because it's going to be really busy. Sam Girard works it down the slot toward the goal. Kemper steered to the side. A bit of miscommunication. Canucks have it. Pullman walking and shooting. Deflected. Wide of the net. Kemper had made a push. Canucks buzzing right now. Garland shoots. It's blocked by Murray, who's lost his twig. Save, rebound, score. Connor Garland fought for that loose puck and was able to put it home. The Avs just lost track deep in their own end. And it's now a 1-1 hockey game.
Well, Moj, miscommunication between the goaltender and the defenseman coming back lead to that goal. The Avalanche puck shot in. It looked like they were going to get control of it. Instead, it's in the corner. All kinds of things start to happen. Good play by Garland. Now, Garland is a shifty, quick, talented player. And again, Moshe, he's another one of those guys. He's not having a bad year for Vancouver. They just can't win. This is a nice play by Garland. He turns, gets the shot on, follows it up, hangs with it, and chips it home.
Yeah, the Avs coverage in front of their netminder, not exactly the cleanest, as you see the backhander go just inside the
There's
post.
sticks all lying around.
The Avs have got to find some more juice here. They only have 2 shots on goal. They turn it over again in front. Saved by Kemper as he robs Besser on the little backhand. Set ahead for Nazem Kadri. Works it back to the Vancouver zone. He's got Nichushkin down the slot. Gives it up, though. Tried to go back to Kadri. Did Burakovsky. He'll pump it up top. Eric Johnson just on the ice. A turnaround shot of that miss. So the Avs not making Demko work at all. We'll see if the second line can do it. 8:52 at the time of that Connor Garland goal, as you can see. Big Jason Dickinson, the only assist on it. Turned down the slot. Saved by Demko, and he couldn't hang on as he pounded to the corner. Avs need a change in the worst kind of way as we approach the midway point of period number 2. Quinn Hughes rams it up ice as it deflected in. Darcy Kemper will flip at it. Comes up to Logan O'Connor. O'Connor has scored in back-to-back games for the first time in his career. He's got 3 goals in his last 4 games. Again, the one last time out against San Jose was a shorthanded goal. Landeskog is stripped. Horvat's in on a 2-on-1. Bo Horvat gives it up. Shot deflected away by Darcy Kemper. My goodness gracious, and right now, the only thing keeping the Avs tied with the Canucks is number 35. He's been brilliant. We're tied at 1. Wow. High school teams, led by Coach George Gwozdecki. Very familiar with Gwoz. The varsity and junior varsity teams each won their division and are CPHL champions of this year. Congratulations to the Valor Christian High School teams. To learn more about amateur hockey throughout Colorado, please visit co.hockey.
Well, let's watch again. Just a great save by Kemper. The Avalanche turnover at the blue line. All of a sudden, a quick 2-on-1, and Kemper reads it perfectly, comes across. That's just a great save.
Did that go off his stick?
Yeah, he got his blocker on it.
Blocker on it.
He got pure blocker on that shot. I mean, you got to come across and beat. I mean, that's one of those shots where the guy didn't make a bad shot. You just made a better save.
Well, I tell you, you've got to be athletic to make a save like that.
You know, it's funny, and we're just starting to get to know him. I think he is a really athletic goaltender.
Watch out, Horvat shoots at a glove save by Kemper. Right now, the Avs are struggling. Hey, score $100 in a Colorado Avalanche jersey when you open a qualified KeyBank checking account by December 31st. Visit a KeyBank branch or go to key.com/avalanche.
It's going to be an interesting couple of days for the Avalanche. They got day off. They're in Seattle. Look at Kemper's numbers. Markstrom, of course, with Calgary. Has he been good? But the guy, John Gibson, he may be the MVP of the league right now, the goaltender for the Anaheim Ducks.
Sent up top, long wrist shot, saved by Kemper again. And those are the second period numbers this year. Those 3 goalies have been the best in the league. And Darcy Kemper, despite giving up a goal here tonight, Pete, he's been terrific. I mean, he's facing a lot of rubber right now.
There's a lot of questions. You know, the situation is, for the Colorado Avalanche, this has always been that period where they score. But tonight, the Vancouver Canucks, you got to give them credit. They've come out and they have been terrific in this second period.
Yeah, the momentum changed in period number 1 after the Avs scored. And then they sort of took the foot off the gas in Vancouver ever since. Eric Johnson out of trouble. Steers it ahead, though. Vancouver hounding him. Deflected right back in as Kemper will steer it off. DJ up the boards with it. Out it comes. Right now, the Avs are just in a bit of sort of a, I don't want to say survival mode, but they're just trying to get the puck out of their own end. And
that's all they can do right now is just get it and dump it out. There's not that quick transition to a good offensive chance.
Sammy G to center ice. Poked at by Megna. He'll give chase on Pullman. Here come the rest of his line mates to try to help out. Burrows tied up in the corner, but it's taken away by the Canucks and Lamico. Steered up ice. Chase on. Motoring. Hammered by Taves in the trapezoid. Newhook is poking at that puck. Steered around. Quinn Hughes now takes over and finds Hammond. Long wrist shot. Never got through. Went off the stick of Tyson Jones. There's a long-range shot. Saved by Kemper, and he's got the rebound. And right now the Canucks have 11 shots on goal already here in the second.
Well, for the Avalanche, surprisingly, third periods have not been good. The second period last year was almost ridiculous how they dominated second periods last year. One of the reasons where they won the President's Trophy is that their second periods would set up third periods where they never trailed.
Part of it was Nathan McKinnon. He would just come out bursting in period number 2, and he would be flying, setting a tone for the rest of his team. Of course, his line mates helped out with that as well. They're doing a lot of heavy lifting. Chopped at by Taves. That puck went right up in the air. Now it's Nichushkin feeds it off. Kadri shoots. Oh, and it's just wide of the net. Missed the top corner by that much. Hamonic, hammered by Kadri. Puck rolls right to Pettersson. Finds his own space and sends it ahead. And that's right back in with Quinn Hughes. Gives it off. There's a push toward the front of the net. And another save by Darcy Kemper.
Well, we talked about Nazem Kadri coming into tonight's game with a 6-game point streak. And Moj, it was on the heels of his first 6 games being so-so. But he has just turned it up for the Avalanche. And probably consistency-wise, the last 7 games, obviously points in each of them helps, but he has been a true factor face-offs and everything.
We talked about it in the pregame show. Val Nichushkin back with 91 and 95. It just ties everybody together.
It's a good line.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the Avs have that number 1 line. That's just remarkable. But the number 2 line is really a talented group.
Here's Mikko. His wrist shot never got through. Might have been sort of a pass as well to O'Connor. Steered ahead by the Canucks. Pearson ridden right off that puck. Long lead pass in stride to Mikko. He'll scissor into the zone. Gives it off to the captain. Throws it on net, and Demko will cradle that puck right into his chest. Well, the Avs, a little pushing and shoving. O'Connor getting his nose a little bit dirty against Tyler Myers. And here are your streaks going on right now, Pete.
And the one I think that is really important is Sam Girard. Because for Sam Girard, it wasn't a great start, and he's really come on. Devon Taves, just getting him back in the lineup, you're automatically a better club. Logan O'Connor, we talked about a lot. You go from 4th line, now he's on the top line. He won't be there, but he will be solid 3rd line. And for Nazem Kadri, it's just, you know, one good, solid play after another. He's not the plays that he makes aren't necessarily spectacular, but he reads the play well, and he makes the smart play almost all the time.
And the Avs, let's be honest, the Avs need him to.
Oh, absolutely.
Tough year last year, and he certainly has changed it up this season.
Well, he came in, and you know, when you have a tough year, it's not the fact you have a tough year. How do you react? And he's reacted like the true professional, and he's given the Avalanche some of the best hockey he's ever played.
Job will be to the right of Thatcher Demko. Newhook looks in. Lamico for Vancouver. Off the stick of Pullman. He'll rip it around to the near side. That missed Burrows. Can the Avs get there? They can. Turn around, dump down deep by Girard. Found nobody. And that's off of Aube-Kubel. Chase up. Steers it ahead. Lamico goes near side to far, waiting for it. Mott. Avs poking through him. Joe's got a blade on that. At the hashes, it's in the skate of Tyson Jost. Aube-Kubel also poking at it. Mott trying to get it free. Avs do not want it to go to the point without being challenged. Want to scoop it out. Could not do it. And now Canucks will get a change as they used a lot of energy trying to get a hold of that puck. Girard surveys. Slams it into the neutral zone where it's deflected in by Megna. And that's an icing call. I thought Megna had the red line, and the linesmen say that he did not.
Newhook, again, just one of those guys we've been looking at in practice. He's only played a couple games for the Avalanche, but when Newhook motion, when he's on his game, he is really quick on the puck. He has tremendous speed. And he's got this sort of interesting skating style. He leans forward and he puck hounds all the time.
Right up the middle and out of the zone. He's got 2 goals, 1 regular season goal, of course. Last time out, game-winning goal for Alex Newhook. but his only other goal came in the postseason last year, also a game-winning goal to the point. Hamannik dishes down the boards, and it's Garland walking free and shooting. Saved by Darcy Kemper. He kept his angle with 5:58 left in period number 2. We've got a 1-1 hockey game in Vancouver, and it's all because of that man, Kemper, having a night. Is in your hands, presented by the Ball Corporation, and there's Big Val.
Big Val played game 1 against Chicago. He played the last couple of games. When he's in those, a 3-0-0, 17-4, 5 against. When he's not in the lineup, 3-5-1, and they are -9.
And it's a small sample size, Pete, but I wouldn't say it's a coincidence either.
No, it's not by any stretch, but it's fun. It's always fun every once in a while. You get an example like that to show that what a guy can mean to a hockey club. Because all of a sudden they got a solid second line. Even without McKinnon, because you've got 2 superstars on the top line. So you're throwing O'Connor up there, but you got that solid second line. You can make things work.
Avs missing JT Compher as well, so 2 of the top 3 centers were out. Centering pass, shot! Blocked away as McCarr tried to fill the lane. Here's Pettersson. He'll work it down the right wing and finds that red line, dumps it in. Avs swat at it, but it got through Murray. Miller steers it back up the boards as Hamannik activates, but it's sent through everybody to the far side of Hughes. Batteries on him. There's a turnover. Avs will take control of that. Trying to counterattack. Nazem Kadri gets the lead pass. Works it down the slot. Kadri ran out of real estate. Trying to dish off. Up top, EJ with his shot, and that never got through as Girard tracks it down to the near corner, but had a man step in front of him, Hughes. It's Besser, middle of the ice. Throws it to the front, kicked aside by Kemper, and O'Connor just on. Flops it up ahead. After it is Mikko. There's a collision to the near side. EJ deep in the zone. Eric Johnson working it toward this side of the cage, but couldn't give it off. Good cut down there by Hoglander. Slows up down the wing. Cross ice pass and a shot blocked away. That is Eric Johnson laying out. Got that one in the gut. Wow. Myers with a wrist shot, and that never got through. Avs trying to gather control. Chopped that, and it's stopped by Darcy Kemper again. Oh, EJ. He got off the wrist as well as he's looking at it. But he laid down in front of that shot.
Moshe, what a shift. He was a player at the other end that jumped up into the play, and now he's coming back. I mean, that's just, Moshe, you want to talk about flat laying it out. You got no idea where this puck is going to go, what it's going to hit. You're just throwing everything across from right to left and hoping you're going to block the puck.
No worse for wear is EJ. He took a shot off the skate a couple games ago as well. Was able to shake that one off a couple 3 games ago. Here's Megna with a draw. In this period, the Vancouver Canucks out shooting the Avalanche 14-4.
Oh, this is, you know, we've seen them play 3 periods where they were not good. The first period where they weren't bad, and now Vancouver, a really good period. So the Avs are up against it right now against Vancouver.
Demko's pass, but that's what you want to call it, was snuffed out by the Avs. Vancouver brings it ahead. Hughes just inside the line, delivers off. Back up top, Hughes at the point, looks in, trying to find a shooting lane. That's whistled wide of the cage. As Hamannik steers it behind the net. The Ducks have control with Garland. Back to the right point now. Up top for Hughes, walking down to the circle. Score! No, I'm sorry. That went above and up top. I apologize. Thought it caught underneath the crossbar. Was a little bit too quick on that one. It's hard to see from our vantage point. Looks like that netting.
I thought it was in.
Well, thank you, Pete. Boy, I've never been so happy to be wrong in my life. Yeah, I take that back.
I was going to say.
And I should go on the Avalanche.
There's been a couple other times.
Oh, man.
But you know, Moshe, when you're a defenseman in the National Hockey League, and these are the kind of plays that you simply have to make. You shy away from stuff like that, you're not going to stay in the game, and it's miserable. You're just coming across it. You know, at that point right there, the only thing you're hoping is, please, dear Lord, don't hit me in the face. Because you're sliding across wide open to wherever that puck's going to go.
Tipped in by Burakovsky. And Chushkin uses his muscle. Bumps it to the point. Murray awaits. Back to Val. Burakovsky with a shot, and Val corrals the rebound. Had it chopped away by Pullman. Besser is out there for Vancouver. They'll slam it a rake wide for space. Under 3 minutes to go in period number 2. I've got to see that Hughes replay again. Tip to the Avalanche end, and Murray is there. We're talking about Ryan Murray. Avs signed him in the offseason. He's just been rock solid back there, a reliable guy.
This is exactly why they got him. That number 7 defenseman that could fill in for the injuries, and the Avalanche have had a ton of them.
Power play coming up for the Avalanche, going to be a hook. Travis Green did not like it, and he said something. It could not be a slash. Horvat's going to the box either way.
Vancouver 2 minutes hooking.
It is a hook officially.
A couple things, both. One, the Avs go on the power play. But 2, Horvat takes all of the important faceoffs for the Vancouver Canucks. I mean, all of them. And so the other night, he took 30 of 48 faceoffs in a game. So here you got a chance, if a couple of faceoff wins, to get control of that puck.
Kadri and Miller in the near circle. Avs win it to McCarr. Avs already with a power play goal tonight. One-timer on the way. Mikko partially fanned on it, gathers it back, and has to slam it to the near side. Burakovsky kicks it up top. McCarr fumbled it momentarily. Canucks very aggressive on this penalty kill. Cut down by Burakovsky. Nice play there. Kadri threw it right into the stick of Mott. It's sent up top. McCarr looking. Delivers off in front. Saved by Demko. It's a loose puck. Oh no, a quick whistle. That puck was never secured by Thatcher Demko. And so Vancouver catches a break as he was swimming in his own crease.
In actual fact, Moj, the Avalanche catch a break. Because that puck...
Vancouver 64 is a minor penalty tripping.
There you go. That's why.
That's
the whistle.
Okay.
We couldn't see an arm up from the referee, 1,200 miles. So the Avs will get a 5-on-3 here.
Now here's the chance right here. Now the referee, the penalty has been called, but the referee out by the blue line, I believe, is the one that's going to make the call.
Yeah, McCarr got tripped up about 3 feet inside the blue line.
Okay, motion. This one is going to. This is the kind of situation right now, minute 29. They could set up this little 2-game road trip. It can set up the next 3 or 4 games because let's face it, you got Vancouver, Seattle is not playing that well, and then Ottawa, who's on COVID right now, and they won't practice until that day before the game.
Offensive play, interference call coming up on Kadri, or is it on Landeskog? Kadri was upset about it, but Landeskog, I think, is the one that's shouting about it. But Nazem Kadri, I believe, is going to be, he's going to enter the box.
Colorado, 2 minutes interference.
Oh, boy.
Okay, but still, 4-on-3. Let's watch and see. Well, he stood right in front of him and grabbed him. But still, 4-on-3 for the Colorado Avalanche. With the talent that they have, Moj, you got to move the puck and take advantage of this situation. This is a key time in this hockey game.
Landeskog leaning in. Puck, of course, back in the Avalanche zone now. And they win the draw. So you got Rantanen and Landeskog up front, McCarr and Taves in the back end, and tons of ice to work with for the next 116. Here comes Landeskog in. Drops it down the boards to himself. Chased by Myers, he'll go back to the point. Waiting is Cale Makar. Mikko finds Taves. Now to Cale. All kinds of space. Back to Taves in his skates. Ran into the dot. Steers it off. Landeskog. Back to Mikko. Tried to go to Makar, and he gave it right away between the circles. 45 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Avs have got to try to make hay. Here is Rantanen. Brings it right up the middle. Finds Taves. Back he goes to Makar. Cale weaves his way in. Now Taves, top of the circle, shoots, and a blocker save by Demko. Devon Taves calm. The Cale one-timer, and that's blocked away. He'll gather it back in. Makar nowhere to go. Between the circles, finds Taves. That shot blocked away again by Vancouver, and it's cleared out. The Avs with a 4-on-3 opportunity. Just can't get the puck through.
Couple of chances from way out, but nothing in close.
Here's Kale to the far side. Burakovsky, time winding down, will go 4-on-4. Burakovsky, head up. Now Sammy G, back to Burakovsky. Shot wide of the net, gets it back on the near side. Out of the box is Horvat, chopped it away. Pounded up top, Girard kept it in at the point. Burakovsky, looking, shooting, deflected wide of the cage off a Canucks player. Horvat throws it behind his net as the Chuskin will chase. And we've come to the end of period number 2 as the Canucks threw it all the way down the ice.
Well, Moshe, there's no question the Avs will walk into the locker room knowing that they threw away a golden opportunity to have a lead going into the third period.
It doesn't get much better than that, but the Avs could not capitalize. And after 2 periods of play, we've got a 1-1 hockey game in Vancouver. You're watching Colorado Avalanche hockey on Altitude. After the break, stay tuned. It's Kyle, it's Mark, and it's JML with a Toyota Intermission Report. For everyone, and by Jack in the Box. Try the Jack in the Box $5.99 cheddar loaded cheeseburger, and it's on a cheddar bun. Want to say hi to all the Avalanche fans, including our own Rachel Richlinsky, watching at the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Greenwood Village. Big, huge Avalanche watch party tonight, and that's just part of the crowd watching this Colorado Avalanche team tied at 1 with Vancouver as we get ready for period number 3. So, hello everybody out there. It's a 1-1 hockey game, and the Avs need to pick it up a little bit here in the final frame.
Moshe, here's a situation for the Avalanche. This is you don't want to say crucial, but the Avalanche have given away points where they've had the lead. They had the lead in this game. Columbus twice, where they had 2-1 leads going into the third period. You can't keep doing that. When you get leads, you gotta maintain them, and you gotta push them. And now Vancouver club that's just dying for a reason to not play well. The Avalanche have to really push the pace in this third period.
Horvat won the draw, so here comes Myers from his own end as he finds that red line and rips that puck in. Pearson tied up McCarr. One-handed up the boards, and Kadri, once they get it out, does. Rantanen chasing it into the Vancouver zone, but a good back check there by Hoglander. Took that one away, and here are the Geico stats for bundling made easy. Go to geico.com.
And Moshe, did I see a line that had Kadri in the middle, Landeskog on the left, and Rantanen on the right? I think that's what started the period for the Avalanche.
You are absolutely right about that, Pete. Eric Johnson, our in-between period interview, chopped at that puck. Miller had it scoot off his stick, but kept in by Vancouver. Long shot deflected over the top of the net as Pettersson was cruising right in the low slot. Here comes Aube-Kubel. The Vancouver zone, he got around Miller, picked up by Hamonic. That puck kicked behind the cage. Set up, and Girard is there. Threw it right off of Newhook, and it goes right to Besser. Good play by Alex Newhook. Throws it back into the Vancouver end. Now it's Quinn Hughes. Avs were in a change, almost got caught. But by Darcy Kemper, he'll hold on. All right, let's take a look at the ball recycle reel highlights.
Funny how little breaks in the game will determine the play. Right there, the stick breaks, Miller can't play the puck. The Avalanche get it, Rantanen scores. Here, Murray stick breaks, and all of a sudden Garland is wide open. Instead of Murray having the puck to push the man off the puck and just push the puck out of the way, Garland picks it up and is tied at 1.
So a couple of opportunities capitalized on by each team. That one whistles wide of the net, far side. Turned on net, and it's off of Kemper, and it's in the back of the net. Darcy Kemper could not locate it. It was put home. And the Vancouver Canucks have taken a 2-1 lead, 1 minute and 30 seconds into the third period as Pullman is able to stuff it home for his first of the year.
Well, Pullman, the defenseman, jumps up into the play. The Avalanche lose the draw. Everything seems to be fine. Puck goes back to the point.
Oh, he crawled over
okay,
Kemper and just crawled in.
Yeah. I thought it had to have been deflected, but actually, Kemper just gets unlucky. The puck lands behind him. Watch the pad right there. It's his own pad that pushes it in, and I couldn't figure out how that puck got in.
And so the Avs, for the first time tonight, have to try to come back from a deficit. Now big hit on Kadri. Going to be a penalty on the near side, I believe.
Yep.
On Mott, who just seemingly boarded him on the near side, but we'll wait for the officials to make the call and find out exactly what's transpiring.
Vancouver 39 has a minor penalty, elbowing.
That's actually an elbowing penalty on Chason. So Mott was in the vicinity, but it's Chason who's given the penalty.
Well, then, I think he's as confused as I am, because I thought it was Mott that came across and got Kadri.
Yeah, what am I missing here? Puck is down, so the Avs on the power play. It's their third of the night in terms of 5-on-4. Burakovsky had it chipped away. Landeskog is in motion. Nico's chugging down the boards. Avs need to get control of that puck. Comes to Hamannik. Burakovsky is there. Couldn't scoot it up the boards. Miller cut it off. He wants to pin it, kill time, but the Avs finally dig it free, and they're set up. Here's Mikko. Up top, it's Kale. Broken stick on the ice for Vancouver. Burakovsky shoots, and a save by Demko. Avs whack at it, comes right to Burakovsky. Mikko shoots, save, rebound, save by the Canucks. Score! Oh no, and Kadri is plowed into the post, and all kinds of pushing and shoving. The Avs have tied the game at 2, and Naz and Kadri just got cross-checked head first into the near post. Gabe Landeskog is red hot. His lid is ripped off. Myers is in there. Landeskog giving the business to Miller. There should be another penalty coming up here. If there is not, I will not know what to do with myself. The Avs have tied the game at 2. Landeskog's second try was cut off by Vancouver. It was finally ramped home. And Nazem Kadri is still red hot.
Oh, okay. It popped over his stick. But look at Kadri. I mean, when you're hot, things go your way. Watch Kadri. Puck comes in, he just lifts it up and over. Ooh, it gets hammered by Miller, but the Avalanche tied up. Boy, I'll tell you, if you're Coach Green for this Vancouver Canuck club, you got to just go crazy every time your team takes a penalty. That's now 21 power play goals against them.
So they're taking a look at it for some reason.
Well, they got to be looking at to see. Number one, Jason's in there going, I'm still not sure if I took a penalty.
Yeah, and he's still in the box, though, and the Avs have scored, so what could they possibly be looking at? Is it possibly goalie interference? I don't think I saw any at all. Is it a penalty on JT Miller for the hit on Kadri into the post? Harry Johnson over to discuss things as one of the alternate captains.
Yeah, Jason's out of the box.
Yeah, finally let out of the box. We'll try to get an explanation here from the referee, Trevor Hansen.
Vancouver number 9, Colorado number 96, both minor penalties for roughing.
Well, Miller gets his right there, and I think Ranson got his when he came in. He put the arms around Miller.
Yeah, I just...
No,
one thing is not like the other, Pete, but nonetheless.
Yeah, but that's fine. Right here, score. You're going to get, there's a penalty for sure, but then Ranson's going to come across and grab the guy, and you're going to do something. The stick comes up a little bit, so it's a little 4-on-4.
You look at both head coaches, they got the explanation. I'm not sure that either is satisfied. We'll see.
Motion. Another goal for Kadri. Is he playing well for the Avalanche? I mean, big games.
He's got a goal and an assist tonight, does Nazem Kadri. 16 points on this season. He's been invaluable after the injury to Nathan McKinnon and, of course, now recently to JT Compher. So we're going to go 4-on-4 here.
First as a Canuck, scored by number 5, Tucker Pullman.
Announcing the Pullman goal a little bit late there in Vancouver as Martin Lamico got the assist. And here we go. Avs win the draw, Eric Johnson. Working the peel back towards his own end.
Big goal for the Avalanche. Vancouver was coming on. They had a better second period than the Avalanche. They come out. They get the 2-1 goal to start the third. And the last thing you wanted to see was somebody take a penalty on Vancouver.
And you love to see the Avs crashing that net as well. And Kadri went right to the front of it along with Landeskog. Sent down to even Hughes. Hip check into the end boards by Sam Girard. And Hughes is slow to get up. Fired ahead. The Avs want to try to get numbers. Girard kicks it to his blade. Peels away from Pettersson. Girard hammered there by Hughes again, and Hughes broke his stick, and a penalty coming up on Quinn Hughes. It's going to be a cross-check. He did not like the hip check, but I'm not sure what he's all hot about as Sammy Girard got him along the inboards in the Avs zone unless there was something that I did not see.
No, Moshe was just mad at the hit. And
43 Vancouver, 2 minutes cross-checking.
In a 2-2 hockey game, here's a Girard hit right here. He comes in, plays him. Okay, you can argue one way or the other, but here's a retaliation. You're coming back. You cross-check a man, you break a stick in a year where they make the penalty more often now for cross-checking, so he's going off. Your team's lost the last 4 games and just fallen by the wayside in the standings, and you take that kind of penalty. That's tough.
Yeah, typically coaches don't want guys to be selfish, so here we go, 4-on-3 for the second time in this game. The Avs had a 5-on-3 cut short, became a 4-on-3, did not score.
Mosh, how big would this be? It's 2-1 Vancouver. You go bang, bang, 2 power play goals, and you're up 3-2.
Again, Nazem Kadri is going to be kicked out of the draw. What does he not do when he gets ready for the face-off?
It's what does he do?
A good point. Either one. Here's Taves. Gives it off now for McCarr. Kale. Finds Taves. Kale shoots and scores! Kale McCarr, the one-timer. It's a 4-on-3 power play goal, and the Avs have taken a 3-2 lead. McCarr's 3rd goal of the season, and he left no doubt as he rocked back, and he ripped it home past Demko.
That was an interesting shot right there. You saw McCarr score. And of course, he and Hughes were all the comparisons that rookie year. Who's better? Who's got more skill? And there's Hughes in the penalty box as McCarr scores to give his team a 3-2 lead after he takes just a very unfortunate penalty.
He worked to the top of the circle. You see, he knew it. Short side for Cale McCarr. And so the Avs regain the 1-goal advantage. Vancouver scored 1 minute and 30 seconds into the period. The Avs have ripped off 2 power play goals against the worst kill in the NHL.
That's 3 tonight.
Yeah, 3 total. Nazem Kadri also picks up another helper. He's got a 3-point night going. But those 2 power play goals in succession have put the Avs back on top. And again, Vancouver came in with the 32nd ranked PK in the NHL, allowing power play goals in 9 straight games. Now they've given up 3 tonight.
And you know, you just look at that last one. Now Hughes is an unbelievably talented player, but you can't do that to your teammates.
You wonder why teams struggle sometimes. Guys get frustrated. It comes out at the most inopportune time. Kicked up top by Nichushkin. Here's Kale. That shot off his skate. Fluttered into the corner, and the Canucks will turn it ahead. Myers through the center circle. Wheels that one in, far side to near. Down the boards, it's Hughes. Now works it back to the blue line and dumps it deep. Horvat pursues. Val shields. Spins it up ice. Here comes Kadri in. Worked it through Myers. Waiting for the Avs to complete their change. On the backhand, Nazem Kadri being very patient with that puck. He'll turn and fire it down deep, but nobody home, intercepted by Myers. Dropped off now for Brock Besser. Lobbed on net. It'll bounce right into the breadbasket of Darcy Kemper. Brock Besser has been very quiet in the last 2 meetings between these 2 teams.
Yeah, and again, Besser, multi-talented. You know, I would say 30 would be a good year, 40 would be a real good year for Besser, but he's capable of 30 plus every year. And because he's got the rocket shot, the great release. He feeds off of Pettersson. And the 2 of them right now are just absolutely not in sync.
Up toward the front of the net. Deflected wide by Miller. Canucks working the perimeter now. Into the corner it goes. Miller back to the point. Long shot there off of Darcy Kemper. Ekman Larsson sent it far side. Good steal by Mikko. Rantanen skates out of traffic, brings it ahead and lobs it in himself. Pullman after it, tied up by Rantanen. Landeskog, good play. Bounced the goal off a body, and now here's Brock Besser into the neutral zone. Hounded by Burakovsky on the back check. Ryan Murray steers it across the red line. No icing here as Demko will come out to play it. Flips it with the backhand up the boards for Dickinson. Throws it off the skate. Avs collect it. Tip to the near side, and O'Connor is in pursuit. Makes the steal away again to Logan O'Connor from Colson. New hook. Tied up. Put a little bit of an elbow there. Connor Garland has a goal. Throws it rink wide. In pursuit is Hammond. Again, the Avs all over the Canucks in their zone. Up the glass. Out it comes. Bopped by Makarov for Murray. That lead pass right to Tyson Jost off the bench. That puck thrown behind the net. O'Connor's been out there for a while. We're 6 minutes into period number 3. 3 goals have been scored in this final frame so far.
And we're looking at Coach Bednar mixing and matching some of the lines and the personnel.
Up to Makar. Left point, Taves. That puck just out of his reach. Avs bump at it. That was Magna. Turnaround shot gloved by Demko, and he's going to hold on, and a timeout coming your way. The Avs were trailing by a score of 2-1, but Nazem Kadri comes up with a big power play goal, and then Cale Makar does the same exact thing. To start things out, first the Vancouver Canucks. Pullman sends it through Darcy Kemper, and he actually kicks it in himself on accident. 2-1 lead for Vancouver, but here come the Avs. Power play goal, Nazem Kadri pays the price right there. The Avs go back on the power play, and Cale Makar waits for the return pass and rifles it home. The one-timer inside the post, and the Avs have regained the lead.
Moshe, you don't want to get too carried away, but the chemistry between 7 and 8 for the Colorado Avalanche, Makar and Taves, it's unbelievable. The passes seem to be right in the wheelhouse. They're at the right pace. I mean, they just set each other up so well.
Avs were onside. Kadri. On the Chushkin couldn't keep it in. Wants to work it to the red line and reset. Pullman pushed at it. Here's the Chushkin. Wanted to go to the point. Canucks able to dig that one loose. It's Burrows. There's the red line, and then it comes to the near side. Eric Johnson is in a collision. Puck is up the boards. Pettersson kicks it off for Ekman Larsson. Now the right point. A wrist shot saved by Kemper with 2 bodies right in front of him. Hey, score $100 in a Colorado Avalanche jersey when you open a qualified KeyBank checking account by December 31st. Visit a KeyBank branch or go to key.com/Avalanche. And Pete, I have one Avalanche jersey. It's the one that you gave me.
And mine is still in the mail?
Yeah, it must be. I thought it got there 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just keep waiting and waiting.
Well, I would just go sit by the mailbox.
I do. The mailman and I have a tremendous relationship.
Right
No, not today.
Eventually. Here comes Ekman Larsson. His headman pass broken up by the Avs. There's Taves. Bumps it back ahead for the captain, Landeskog. Picked up by Pearson on his way in. At the half boards, Mikko. Chugged after that puck, wanted to scoot it to the point. Avs have it now with Taves. Walks the line and shoots. Blockered away by Demko. Look at Makar, deep into the zone. Cale falling down as Pearson flips it far side. Myers will get it up and out. And now Burakovsky retrieves. Approaching 8 minutes gone in period number 3. The Avs with a 3-2 lead over Vancouver. Tied up is Bud Colson. Here's Cale working it behind his cage to reset and reload. Outlet finds the target. Murray all the way to the red line. Sends it down the right wing intended for Megna. Shoot save by Demko. Up top it comes. Off a couple of bodies. Now the Canucks are sprung. It's Connor Garland again. We talked about it earlier, Pete. He is shifty and he is quick. Does a perfect pass right up the middle to him. That puck sent in by Megna. Into the corner, Dickinson. Hip check. Puck squirts free, and the referee avoided contact with it. Eric Johnson is deep in the zone. Got knocked down by Mott, lost an edge. Quinn Hughes to the near side. Kadri waved at the puck with his stick. Loose stick down to the ice is Kadri's. It's sent up top, and there's Pullman with a long wrist shot, never got through. Tips it off for Hughes. He'll shoot it wide of the net. It was deflected, and Mott turns it in front. Chason cut down there by EJ. Crowd wants a penalty. They're not going to get it. Mott with the backhand. Canucks trying to keep the cycle going. It's bumped up far side. Now it's Hughes waiting up top again. Looks and shoots, and off of Darcy Kemper and wide. Avs finally gathered control. It's lifted up and out. Not enough for an icing call. Darren Helm was out there, I think, Pete, since the Eisenhower administration. Tucker Pullman tried to walk around and dump it in, and does. Here's Nichushkin looking for Newhook. Bad up the boards. Canucks keep it in momentarily. Handled for on the near side. Good play by Joe. Still scooted across the red line. Devon Taves turning. Swings it off for Newhook. That puck is lobbed in the air. Cut down by Vancouver with a high stick. And a timeout is coming your way. Only 9:58 to go here in period 3. The Avs with a 3-2 lead over Vancouver. As we look down the avenues next to BC Place.
Nathan MacKinnon out of the lineup. You look at his production of late for the Colorado Avalanche, back-to-back 3-point games. And, you know, it's one thing in a 6-2, 7-1 game, but this is a 3-2 hockey game. He had a 3-point night. So this has been a terrific game for Nazem Kadri.
And like you said, just when you need it the most.
Yeah.
Because when you're missing 29 for sure, obviously, and 37 and 4 Canucks ram it up to the point. Myers will walk. Dishes off an Ekman-Larsson. You're missing a lot, and everybody else has to do a little bit more, which is what's been happening, but nonetheless, Nazem Kadri has helped lead that way for sure. Now running a 7-game point streak. On the stick of Landeskog, there's the captain in front of the Vancouver benches. He dumps it in. Burakovsky now skating with the top line, rips it up top. Girard, a wrist shot, gloved by Thatcher Demko. Berg Simpson reminds you that when the game is on the line, call 303-790-2525. Berg Simpson, good lawyers, changing lives.
Mosh, how about this one? Seattle next. The Avalanche come home to play or not play Ottawa. Nobody knows for sure right now, but we think it's going to happen. And then guess who they play? The Western Conference #1 team, the Anaheim Ducks, with 23 points as we speak.
Did Ryan Getzlaf go to the Ponce de Leon route, Fountain of Youth? I mean, what happened? That shot by Girard is blocked out of the zone. Here come the Canucks. It's fired ahead for Pettersson. He ran out of real estate. Good play by Murray to get back in there. Besser sends it up. Miller wants to work his way through Kiefer Sherwood. For Kiefer Sherwood, this is his first shift of period number 3. Canucks flub that puck. Helm tries to get it out. Good diving play by Pettersson to keep it alive. Miller sweeps it free. Avs had it on their stick, but just couldn't get it out. Now they need to, as it's bounced rink wide. Pullman's back in. Pullman, a shifty move, shoots! It's off a body and wide as Besser is there. The Avs did get it out of the zone, but the Canucks turned it right back in on the Avalanche. Megna took a shot in the chest. Again, Vancouver, for the most part tonight, Peter, has been the better team. The more energetic, hard-working Pullman. Already has a tally, gives it up. Besser is in. That shot never got through. Blocked away by Megna. The Avs will ice this puck, or is it waved off? No, it's waved off. So they can get a wholesale change here.
Yeah, 5-on-5, Vancouver's had a solid game. The 3 power play goals for the Avalanche, and not on great penalties by the Canucks.
Set up ice, deflected in, played by Darcy Kemper. Second line out. Kadri fanned on that one. Jack Johnson uses his legs and finds the glass. OBQ Bell made a play for it. We may have a hand pass here. Hey, here's the upcoming schedule presented by All Copy Products. Friday, the Avs are in Seattle to take on their old pal Philip Grubauer and the Seattle Kraken. That's going to be on ESPN+. And then on Monday, the Avs host the Ottawa Senators on Girls Hockey Night back here in Denver. Don't miss a minute of the action in that one when the complete coverage for you begins at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. It's Monday Night Hockey right here on Altitude Sports.
First question. Do you think Vegas' success has weighed on Seattle and how they have approached this season so far? Because they have 9 points to this point.
I don't know if it's weighed on Seattle. That puck skips all the way down, other than the GMs around the league decided we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to make these crazy deals and give you the opportunity. But maybe it has. Once I knew what Vegas was able to do in that first year and beyond, and all the deals that went down, I just thought there's no way that GMs around this league will give Seattle that opportunity.
I don't care what opportunity they gave it. It was still beyond hockey. I mean, there's no way it should have happened. Absolutely no way.
Lot works it in, centering pass, skip by a shot, saved by Kemper. You're right. I mean, I'm still flummoxed about that. All the way to the Cup final.
They were up 1-0 in a series against the Washington Capitals in the finals.
Just amazing. Avs forced the turnover. Logan O'Connor heads down the right wing and dumps it in. Tyson Jost wrapped up there by Ekman Larsson. New hook. Trying to pitchfork that puck away, does for Jost. Giving off O'Connor. Now it's Eric Johnson with his shot. Never got through. Bouncing into the circle. New hook. Ran out of room. EJ steers it down the slot. Cut off by the Canucks. Avs want to keep it in. Look at Logan O'Connor go. Took a hit from Ekman Larsson. It's Tyson Jost. Lost the puck in the corner. Gathers it back in behind the cage. Good stick there by Paul Colson, but not out of the zone. Here's EJ. A seam and a kick save there by Demko. Makar can't keep it in. Avs will want to get a change here. Kale. Cut off. Under 6 minutes to go as Demko patiently dishes off. Knocked himself down behind his net, recovers. Vancouver turns it ahead with Höglander. He's been very noticeable in the 2 games we've seen against Vancouver. The youngster Nils Höglander. Nico Retnin takes a hit there from Pearson. That puck bouncing in. Pullman. Hip check by Burakovsky and Landeskog. Taken over by Girard. Walks it straight away. Shoots! Kick save by Demko. Rebound. A drive move. The goal that's wide of the net. Mikko shot it over the top. It was that close and he never misses from there. Oh, Pete, you were thinking what I was thinking.
I was absolutely, Moj. Scares me, but you're right.
Outlet finds Pedersen. Back checking his Val Nichushkin to take that puck away. Scooped ahead by Kadri. Nazem Kadri the centering pass, and it's knocked away by Demko as Nichushkin tried to get his stick in there. Pedersen turns on the Jets. This time gets by Big Val. Lead pass is to Miller. Couldn't get through traffic. That puck is loose to Kadri at the hashes. 2 Canucks players on the spot. Finally bounced ahead. Obe Kubel finds the red line. He'll dump it in. Not able to chase as he was knocked off. Good transition again by the Canucks. Here they come back in. Their zone exits have been really good tonight for the most part, Pete. Darcy Kemper's had himself a whale of a game so far. Back in, it's Logan O'Connor. Has some fresh legs after a nice breather. Makar gets it from Girard and shoots. It never got through. Turnover, Avs keep control. Losing an edge is Helm. That puck is loose now for Podkolzin, and it's pushed ahead by the Canucks. Haven't had a whistle in quite a while now in this one. Girard works it out of his own end. It's steered in by the Avalanche and Landeskog. Booted. Canucks trying to turn it out, cannot do it. Now they can. Höglander again noticeable. Saw Retnin coming, big 96. He had to pull up or face the wrath. And now Mikko's got the loose puck.
And this is where the Vancouver Canucks need some of their star players to have a good last 3.5 minutes of this game. Tie this thing up.
3 minutes and 15 seconds to go. So keep an eye on Demko from this point forward. Hammond steers it ahead. Kick to the ab zone by Miller. No icing on the play. Eric Johnson brings that one around, and out it comes back the other way. This will be an icy call, or will it? It will be on the Avs with 2:57 left. Well, I got to see how Mikko missed.
Yeah, Mikko Rantanen. This is where he is so, the wrists are so phenomenal. He's so big, so strong, and he just takes to the back end and just rolls the wrist. This is so much harder than it looks. I think the puck just turned on edge a little bit, and that's what threw it up and over.
He's just so good at that. He's so calm with the puck. Out it comes. Back to the Vancouver end. Dished off now for Hughes. Bumps it for himself down the boards. Abs able to make the play there. Good job by Eric Johnson. Canucks have yet to yank Thatcher Demko. Jack Johnson hesitated. Canucks cut that puck off. Comes to the near side now. Connor Garland has had a game. Chased all the way up to the blue line by Johnson. Quick shot, saved by Darcy Kemper. Puck is loose to the far side, and here's Pelham. Bounced it off a leg, and out it comes. Wow, Kemper.
Garland set that whole thing up with good hard work.
Vancouver is offside with just over 2 minutes left. The Avs clinging to a 3-2 lead late in Vancouver.
Season, there are games when you just have to put the hammer down. The Avalanche, 2 minutes to go in this game. This is when you develop those habits that are going to work all the way through the regular season into the playoffs. You have to be able to put games away. You have to be the most determined. You have to do whatever it takes. It doesn't have to be pretty, but it has to get done if you're the Colorado Avalanche.
You mentioned the 2 games against Columbus.
Yep.
2-1 leads going into the third in both of those contests, and the Avs come away with 1 total point. And they want to start building the good habits, as Gabe Landeskog alluded to just this last week. So the Canucks have it. In the Avalanche zone it goes. Given up now for Horvath. Kicks it to the point. Back to Bo Horvath. Long shot, never got through. Another opportunity, bounce down deep. Avs poke at it, loose puck by Darcy Kemper, and he'll finally jump on top. But this will allow Vancouver to get their extra skater on. In fact, they've already done it.
Garland's wide open on to the right of Kemper. Does Kemper do a great job of keeping his eyes on the puck and finding that easily could have been swatted away from the front of the net over to the wide open guy. Puck's around, the puck's around. He doesn't let it slide across, which would have been right to Garland.
Yeah, I got that goal stick out there, took a whack at it, and then finally was able to scoop it in and smother it. Huge face-off here for Nazem Kadri. Horvat leaning in for Vancouver. That puck is down. Net is empty for the Canucks, and the Avs can't get it out yet. Sent down deep. Taves able to tie his man up. Kadri. There is Garland. All over him is Taves. Comes out of the pile to the far side, waiting Pettersson. Canucks swing it up top. Hughes dances, gives it up. Shot blocked away, never got through. Landeskog picks up the loose puck, wants to flip it up and out. A foot race back to the Vancouver zone, and it's another icing call with 1 minute and 11 seconds left. I think Landeskog wanted to go a little bit higher with that puck, but it just skipped all the way down.
Well, the players are so used to shooting at the empty net now. No one's ever surprised when there is a face-off. But now again, the Avalanche, when you're on the ice in these situations, you got to know exactly where you want to go.
Kadri back in against Horvat to the right of Darcy Kemper this time. Canucks again win the draw. Through Besser. Garland, tied up by Tate. They've had a rumble in that corner now for a little while. Hughes delivers to the right point, and Pettersson is down the boards with it. Steered across the ice, intended for Besser, chipped out by Rantanen. Avs can't get a change with less than a minute to go. Here come the Canucks from center ice. Back down the right wing, EJ took a swat at it. Bangs it through the corner boards, and Pettersson is there. To the side of the net, to the far side. Avs can't get to it. They can. It's pushed ahead. Landeskog had it chopped free. It goes into the Avalanche bench, and that faceoff should be up and out into the neutral zone.
Oh, what did we talk about? Doing anything it takes to just get the puck out of the zone, get this game finished. And you just dive and you knock the puck out of the zone. Watch Kadri right here. There, you know, there may well be the play of the game as far as keeping the puck out of the zone. Now the face-off's outside. Now the situation is far different than if he had just let Vancouver get that puck and start to turn it around.
Travis Green has used his timeout. Jerry Bednar will take the opportunity to talk about the strategy with his guys. What a night for Nazem Kadri. Big defensive play right there, but he's got a goal and 2 assists on the night.
And the Avalanche, whose power play was really sort of scuffing along. Now all of a sudden they've got 6 in the last 3 games. And so for the Avalanche, I mean, there's the thing. If you're Seattle and you're, pre-scouting, you're going, oh boy. Now that power play is going to come alive.
Yeah, the last time the Avs scored 5 power play goals in a game, it was in Vancouver in 2018. They won 5-4 to the Avalanche. All goals on the power play. Tonight they've got 3 in Vancouver, so they love to eat with the extra man at Rogers Arena. Draws outside the Avs blue line. Everybody is rested. The Vancouver net is still empty. Canucks again win the draw. Batted off for Hughes. Couldn't get it in. Good active stick by the Avs. Pushed at by Kadri. Avs tied up in front of the penalty boxes. Squirts free. Down to 25 to go is Pettersson. Steered it in. Avs sent it right back out. Crowd starting to boo. 15 seconds left. It's rifled off the stick. Renton gives it up. Here's Landeskog shooting and scoring. Gabe Landeskog a power play goal. His 6th goal of the season, and the Avs have put it away. They've got a 4-2 lead with 10.1 left.
That's how you do it. It's exactly how you do it. The puck was along the blue line, and Rantanen makes a beautiful stick play to stop that puck, gets it over to Landeskog, and there's Kemper right there. Again, Moshe, big saves, key times. When it was in that first period, when the Avalanche were able to get the 1-0 lead, there was no easy goal that got in. Vancouver didn't play well, but the second period, Vancouver really played well, and then in that second period, he just turned it on.
Appreciative of the guys giving him some cushion in front. Down to the final 5 seconds, so the Avs will have won 3 in a row for the first time this season. They're 2 games above 500 for the first time this season as they go to Vancouver and see Darcy Kemper make 30 saves in a 4-2 victory.
Solid win for the Colorado Avalanche. There were pockets. That second period was not good. They know that. They came out in the third period, and they fell behind. But then they go power play goal, and they go on to win this hockey game. Huge for the Avs.
Yeah, and if you look to Vancouver and some of their issues as of late, that may have been exposed here tonight for sure.
You look at the goals, 3 power play goals and an empty net goal.
That's it. Avs win 4-2 over Vancouver. Don't forget, join us on Monday night for Girls Hockey Night in the Arena as the Avs host the Ottawa Senators. Complete coverage is at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Now let's send you to Kyle, Mark, and JML. And here comes the Avalanche locker room report. Stick with us.
Well, I'm not sure why the intensity of every single game feels like the Stanley Cup Finals. It's just killing me. The Avs, 2 goals in 53